he ordered total annihilation. For 1 month, his army plundered, burnt, and raped. A year later, visiting foreign ambassadors described the streets as slippery with human fat. They also recorded that beyond the walls stood an entire mountain of bones. Genghis Khan's fearsome reputation grew from the destruction and carnage he practiced in Beijing. But what he now created at Karakorum in central Mongolia revealed an entirely different nature. Genghis Khan wanted Karakorum to be a great trading and cultural center. Here, in stark contrast to his nomadic origins, he began to establish a permanent capital. And he wanted his people to benefit from his conquests.
My people were as numerous as the trees in a forest. I wanted them to feed on tender meat, live in beautiful tents, and pasture their horses on rich soil.
To achieve this, he imported knowledge. He learned the technology of the Chinese military. He established a medical corps trained by Chinese physicians. He ordered his followers to create a record of all his rules and all his judgments. It was forbidden for any man to own a Mongol slave. And each tribe was given its own grazing grounds. It was the beginning of a legal system. The Mongols could neither read nor write, but Genghis Khan understood the power of the written word. Above all, he wanted his legacy recorded. He looked to the west to build on his conquests, not through war, but through trade. He sent ambassadors to Persia and established a network of routes linked by staging posts 40 kilometers apart. A messenger could travel 200 kilometers in a single day. It was a medieval pony express. In the summer of 1218, one messenger sent back to Genghis Khan from Persia carried a package that would change the course of history. It was the head of Genghis Khan's ambassador. The Sultan had fundamentally misjudged Genghis Khan's character. Genghis Khan sent an army 200,000 strong to invade Persia. It was a campaign of extreme savagery.
I was not the instigator of these tribulations. God grant me the strength to exact vengeance.
On his order, every Persian town that did not submit was burnt to the ground. When they had finished, over 1 million men, women, and children were dead. After the conquest of Persia, Genghis Khan ordered a small army to see how far west they could penetrate before they were stopped. And they weren't stopped at all. This was the Mongols' first raid into Europe. It would not be their last. His empire was now 4 times the size of Alexander the Great's and twice the size of the Roman Empire. But even this was not enough to satisfy the desire of Genghis Khan. He wanted something more, something his army could not give him, which is why in 1222 this man traveled towards Genghis Khan's court. He was a revered Taoist monk. From him, Genghis Khan sought just one thing:
I told him how my life was a divine mission. I've been sent to Earth to conquer the world. I spoke of the prophecies, the battles, my ambitions, my age. I asked what medicine he had brought to prolong my earthly existence.
It was only then the monk realized Genghis Khan was asking for the secret elixir of eternal life. Unfortunately, the monk could only offer him advice about prolonging life through sexual abstinence, but not immortality. There is nothing to indicate that Genghis Khan took the monk's advice. Recent scientific evidence suggests that perhaps 1 in 200 men alive today can trace their genetic lineage to Genghis Khan. 4 years later, he embarked on one more campaign of conquest into China. According to legend, these were the last words of Genghis Khan.
I have conquered for you a large empire, but my life was too short to take the whole world. That I leave to you.
He appointed his son, Ogedei, to succeed him as Khan. Genghis Khan died without having achieved what he believed was his destiny: to conquer the entire world. In the years after his death, his sons carried out his wish, doubling the size of the empire. They returned to Europe and invaded Russia, Poland, and Hungary. But in 1242, approaching Vienna, the new Khan died. Mongol law decreed that all chiefs return to elect a new leader, and Europe was spared the Mongol terror. A century later, his mighty empire began to crumble. His reputation has made him one of history's immortals, a reputation enhanced by the mystery of his burial. It is said that every witness to his funeral cortege was executed to keep the site of the tomb a secret. Today, almost 8 centuries later, the burial place of Genghis Khan remains undiscovered. There is no grave, no mausoleum, no monument to this bloodthirsty conqueror, the most successful military commander the world has ever known.